Imagine a time when certain jobs were the lifeblood of Britain, keeping cities, towns, and entire industries running smoothly. Fast forward to today, and these roles are virtually gone, leaving behind only memories and stories. But how did this happen? Why did these jobs vanish? And more importantly, why do we miss them? Let's take a journey through time and uncover 17 jobs that held the UK together until they vanished. 1. Coal miner. The backbone of Britain's industrial revolution. Close your eyes and picture a day in the life of a coal miner, deep underground, covered in soot, working tirelessly to power the entire nation. It wasn't just a job, it was a way of life for thousands of British families. For over a century, coal miners were the backbone of Britain's economy. Their hard work fueled the Industrial Revolution, powering factories, homes, and transport systems. But by the 1980s, the decline of the coal industry left miners without work, and with it, a part of Britain's soul disappeared. Today, the rusting remains of old coal mines stand as reminders of a time when coal ran through Britain's veins. 2. Lighthouse keeper, guardians of the shoreline. Imagine standing alone on a rocky cliff, the sound of crashing waves around you, a single lantern guiding ships to safety. The lighthouse keeper was the unsung hero of Britain's shores. They braved storms, isolation, and danger, ensuring sailors found their way home. But with automation and GPS, lighthouses no longer needed human hands. The beacons still shine, but the people who once tended them have vanished from our coastline. 3. Milkman, the early morning hero. Can you recall the sound of the milkman's cart rolling down your street at dawn, glass bottles clinking softly in the morning silence? For generations, the milkman was as British as tea and biscuits. Fresh milk delivered before sunrise, a familiar face on every street. But supermarkets and packaged milk brought the tradition to an end. We grab our milk from shelves now, yet the memory of those early morning deliveries still lingers. 4. Telegraph operator, connecting the world. Imagine being the bridge between two people, thousands of miles apart. Telegraph operators encoded messages in Morse code, connecting families, businesses, and governments. They were the lifeline of communication, until telephones, and eventually the internet, silenced the wires forever. 5. Typist, masters of the written word. You can almost hear it, the rhythmic clacking of typewriter keys, letters, reports, and documents typed at lightning speed. Typists were the heartbeat of every office, but computers replaced typewriters, and slowly the typist's world faded away. 6. Pin setter, the unsung hero of bowling alleys. Before machines did the work, there was a person resetting every fallen pin, racing against the clock, keeping the game alive. Automation took over, and the sound of human hands was replaced by the hum of machinery. 7. Street lamp lighter. A job lit by gas. Picture someone walking the streets at dusk, lighting every lamp by hand. They were the keepers of the night. Electricity arrived, and the lamps no longer needed a guardian. The warm glow of gaslight gave way to a flick of a switch. 8. Chimney sweep, keeping homes safe, covered in soot, squeezing through narrow chimneys, removing dangerous soot from coal-burning homes. Their work prevented fires and kept families safe. Central heating arrived, and the chimney sweep's world vanished into history. 9. Switchboard operator, the connectors of a nation. There was a time when every phone call needed a human connection. Operators plugged lines manually, linking voices across the country. Automation replaced them, and the switchboards fell silent. 10. Ice cutter. Chilling the UK's drinks before refrigerators, blocks of ice were cut by hand from frozen lakes. Back-breaking work done in freezing conditions. Refrigeration made the job obsolete, and the ice cutter disappeared overnight. 11. Bargee. The lifeblood of Britain's canals. Before railways and motorways, goods travelled by canal. Horse-drawn barges carried coal, cotton, and cargo. But trains and trucks took over, and the canals fell quiet. With them, the bargee's livelihood slipped away. 12. Town crier. The voice of the people, bell in hand, voice echoing through the streets. Oyez, oyez. They delivered news long before newspapers and radio. But modern media replaced them, and the town crier's voice faded into history. 13. Paperboy girl. The morning routine. Up before dawn, cycling through quiet streets, dropping newspapers at every doorstep. For many, it was their first job. Digital news arrived, and the sound of a paper hitting the pavement became a memory. 14. Gas lamp attendant. The keeper of the flame, lighting and maintaining every lamp by hand, a familiar figure on foggy streets. Electric lighting arrived, and their role disappeared forever. 15. Milk cart driver. A horse-drawn delivery, glass bottles in wooden crates, a horse leading the way from house to house. Refrigerated trucks and supermarkets ended the tradition, but the image lives on in Britain's collective memory. 16. The knocker-up, the human alarm clock. A tap on the window at dawn, a long stick reaching to the upstairs rooms. Before alarm clocks, this was how workers woke up on time. Technology replaced them, but the story remains unforgettable. 17. Plowman, the heart of farming. A man, a horse, and a plow, turning the soil that fed a nation. Tractors and machines transformed agriculture, and the plowman's world slipped quietly away. These jobs were more than roles, they were the fabric that held Britain together. Each one tells a story of hard work, pride, and dedication. As the world continues to change, we remember the people behind these vanished professions. Which one do you miss the most? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Nostalgic British for more meaningful journeys into the past.